Well, hey, Sorta Seniors, happy day 28. Can you believe it's day 28? I am sitting outside. It's gorgeous this afternoon, and I thought I'm going to come on here, do a video outside for you guys, because we are going to be talking about team culture today. So hopefully you guys are sticking with me, even though we had a few bumps in the road last week with me posting. But I want to make sure that you guys are still putting in the daily effort like we talked about yesterday, and make sure you guys don't have any questions. Do you guys know that we're here to support one another? We are. And so I want you guys to really think of this as a journey, and I want you to think of this as a journey as you develop your 31 business into the way that you want your business to be developed. So today we're going to be talking about a little bit more about what does it take to be a leader with 31. And I'm going to apologize because there are dogs and they're going to bark. Okay, so what does it take to be a 31 leader? So when I talk about a leader, obviously the very first thing as you join and become a 31 consultant is we want to help everyone get qualified. So we want to help everyone reach their $1,000. Now, there's a couple of reasons we want to do that. For one, it benefits us because we're earning wishes come true, right? So we're earning wishes come true gift cards, but we're also trying to get 2 PICAs, which 2 people qualified, because that helps us sort a senior. But more importantly is what is it in it for the person who joins, right? It's a big deal for them to hit their first $1,000 because that means they're going to get their first big reward from home office as well, which is also part of the Wishes Come True program. So if you guys have not taken a look at the Wishes Come True, it's super powerful. I think it's so much better than Start Swell used to be, if you guys are familiar with Start Swell. And it is something that can really help benefit the people that we are trying to get to join our team and help them benefit their families and their why. So, okay, so soaring to senior means you've got 2 PICAs on your team, but then we're going to soar on to director, or we could drive to director if we want to. And director is a little bit more of a requirement. So at senior consultant, you have no personal volume requirements. But remember, back in the very beginning when we talked about Soar to Senior, we were talking about having at least that $500 minimum every month of sales, because I want you guys to get consistent in doing those sales, because when you're wanting to promote to director, your minimum has to be $1,000. Okay, so after that, all leaders have a $1,000 requirement every single month. So that means me, that means a leader that maybe you're under besides me. And so we all have to submit $1,000 a month. So it's just something you know you've always got to do. And so for me, I always set my goal at 2,000. So if I don't happen to reach my 2,000 goal, I will always hit my 1,000. So knock on wood, which there's no wood around here, but $1,000 in 8 years, I have never missed my $1,000, ever. As being a leader, ever. I always come up with ways because I know that in order to be paid as a leader, I have to submit $1,000. So sometimes, you know how we said those pretend parties a couple of days ago, talking about those pretend parties, sometimes we have to come up with other ways to party because there are just some months where it doesn't go as planned. Parties cancel, people don't show up, maybe the special isn't the best special, and so there are ways that we can uniquely provide us to have sales still without actually having parties. But I promise you that if you guys can start setting your goal now to make $1,000 every month, sell $1,000 every month, you're going to be that much further ahead in the game when you start promoting and adding additional team members to your team. So here's the deal, guys. If you aren't partying, if you're not submitting sales, your team more than likely isn't doing it either. I can attest to this. When I take a dive in my business, I see the team take a dive in their business. Every leader experiences the same exact thing. So this is why it's so important, excuse me, there's a bug. This is why it's so important that we always work our list of 100, that we're always thinking ahead, that we're always booking ahead. Remember, one of the tasks was to book 10 parties out, not 10 parties right that week, but we need to book 10 parties out. You know, I'm already booking December, January. I would even talk into February. I've got an event already scheduled for February. Always be thinking ahead, be forward-minded in your business with 31, and you will always not feel like you're behind. We never want to get to a month and go, what am I going to do now? That's not what we want to have happen. So we want you guys to always be forward-mind thinking and thinking ahead. So what does that look like? 2 to 3 parties a month. Guys, 2 to 3 parties a month is nothing. compared to some people who are in this business. So don't get freaked out by 2 to 3 parties a month. That should be your goal. That's going to help you make that $1,000 a month by having 2 to 3 parties a month. Events, additional sales, anything you do in your VIP Facebook group, that's just additional stuff. But if you guys can focus on doing 2 to 3 parties a month, I can guarantee you that you will hit that $1,000 every single month. And if you, as you grow your team, are doing 2 to 3 parties a month, and remember we talked about yesterday, we talked about celebrating the parties, right? If you're celebrating your parties, your team is going to celebrate them too. As they join you, they're going to want to have parties too. So, okay, so back to team culture. Let's talk about this for a minute. I never want anyone to join our team and feel pressured. And I don't think that you guys want to feel that, I don't think you guys that are having people join your team want to have them feel that either, right? We never want to feel pressured. I don't want to be like there are some network sales marketing companies out there. I won't name who they are, but they are pressured. They're pressured to buy inventory. They're pressured to have sales every single month. They're pressured to do things their way, not their own way. And to me, one of the things that I love about 31 is I can work my business the way I need to work my business. Sometimes it is full on, I'm doing party after party after party. And some months, guess what? Life happens. And it is not the best month in the world, but I still get my minimums and I'm still going to be a 31 consultant regardless. So, okay, I just want to make sure that you guys, when you have someone join your team, they're joining for their why and not your why. It's super important that we always keep their why in the forefront of our mind when we're talking to them. We don't want them to be scared about hearing from us because we're begging them to have some sales for the month. We want them to reach their why, no matter what their why is, right? So when we're working towards growing a team, remember we have to have our $1,000 minimum. We have to have at least 4 PICAs. So 4 people join our team and qualify. They don't have to sell $1,000 a month every month, but they have to be qualified. So that means they've had to have submitted their first $1,000 because that makes them a PICA. The more PICAs you have, the stronger that you are, so that you don't have to worry about your team volume, which is called TV. Team volume means you are submitting $4,000 a month in team volume. So that's anybody under you and anyone under them, or anyone under them, and that's your sales. 1,000 of that 4,000 team volume has to be yours, okay? Because you have to sell 1,000. So realistically, your team needs to sell 3, or you need to sell 3 and they need to sell 1. Makes sense? So it's a total of 4,000, but you have a $1,000 requirement as a director, okay? If we can be consistent with our personal volume, it's just going to help us get there that much quicker. If we can be consistent with partying and sharing the opportunity, it's going to help you get there that much quicker. Partying, sharing the opportunity, and consistent personal volume are the 3 main things that are going to help you promote quicker than anything else. It's the forefront of our business. It's the 3 most important things of our business. If we are not sharing about this opportunity all the time, if we're not talking about our business, sharing it with others, and we're not partying and in front of people, sharing who we are and what we do, then our business isn't going to take off the way that we want it to. So those 3 things should be at our forefront. Always, always, always. But we don't want to pressure our team. Look, everybody joins for a different reason, and that's perfectly legit. And sometimes they'll tell you their why, and then they join, and that why doesn't mean diddly squat to them, and that's okay too. But we need to try to connect their why to what they're doing, okay? So parties, though, are going to be where you meet your strangers. It's where you're going to grow your list of 100 even more. So I would encourage you and anybody that you have join your team to have at least 1 party and get to know more people. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to team culture is your team does not owe you anything. You guys don't owe me anything. Nothing. All 206 of you do not owe me anything. You don't. So it's your job to help them match their why and motivation level with the skills to where they want to go. I'm going to say that again. It is your job as their sponsor to help them match their why and motivation level with the skills where they want to go. But it is not to pressure them, and it is not to benefit you. Sorry. I know, tough love. Don't let them feel like they owe you or that they're disappointing you if they don't help you. Do not do that to your team. I hope that I have never come across that way with my team. with you guys, especially my personal recruits. I don't ever want, I mean, it's different when they're not my personal recruits, okay? Because I haven't had some of those conversations with them. But when they have joined directly under me, I never, ever, ever want someone to feel like they're joining to benefit me or they're joining to help me, and that if they don't do what they said they were going to do, they're going to disappoint me. I do not want that to ever happen. I want them to fulfill their why if that's what they want to do. And if they want to join for a $99 kit and use it for Christmas presents and do nothing else with it, guess what? I'm perfectly okay with that, because it is up to them on what they want this business to be. My job is to share, and if they decide to join, invite them to join. But my job is not to push them to do something in this business that they are not comfortable doing. So let me give you another example. This is going to be a little long-winded today. I had someone who was not directly under me, but was a leader years ago on our team, and she was within my lineage. And one day she came to me and she said, "I don't want to do this anymore." And I was heartbroken because we were friends, and I was truly sad that she didn't want to be a leader and she didn't want to do this anymore. But she said to me, "I don't want to do the sales calls. I don't want to pressure people to buy from me. I don't want to have to make my $1,000 a month, and I don't want to put my family under that stress because I have other things going on." And I blessed and released, because that was what I was supposed to do. We're still friends on Facebook. I don't talk to her like I used to, but I'm so proud of the journey that she's on now, because she's doing other things for her family. But that was up to her, not me. And I did not want her to think she was disappointing me by quitting. It's okay. Sometimes this business is just a season for people. It is not lifelong like it is for me, or maybe some of you. It's a season, and we have to be okay with that. People will come and go in this business. Some will stay, some will go, and some will even come back. But it's our job to just love on them no matter what they choose to do. They've got the freedom to choose what this business is for them. Okay, and our job is to shepherd them while they're with us, right? We have to shepherd them. I want everybody to see how amazing 31 is and the rewards that they can get with 31. When someone joins my team, I want them to start partying right away, because I want them to earn rewards right away. And I want them to experience the wishes come true and see how powerful that is. But I'm not going to pressure them to have a party if they're not willing to do it. So sometimes I just have to bless and release. I talked about not wanting them to be afraid of us if they get a PM from us. I never want anybody to feel like that. But I never, ever want, and I hope you guys will never do, is place expectations you have on them and just let them know that. I have goals for them, but that doesn't mean their goals are going to match my goals. But they don't owe us anything. They don't owe you anything for joining your team. And that's super important when it comes to team culture. We just have to continue to share, to party, and to give them the opportunity to do what they want with this business and keep moving forward. Okay? So there is actually no challenge for the day. What? So if you didn't get yesterday's done, go do that. And then I want you to comment below something, since you've watched this video, something that you've learned throughout this process, or maybe something that you're excited about for building a team. Look, I know it sometimes does not happen as quickly as you guys want it to, but I promise if you continue to do the work, share the passion that you have for 31, and continue to just be you. That's who God created you to be. And He gave you this business and our team for some reason. So do the work and leave it up to God to do the rest. And one thing I will encourage you guys to do, I don't say this a lot, but you guys are a smaller group, so I'm going to say this. I want you to pray for your business in ways that maybe you haven't before. One book that I absolutely love and I have read twice, and I actually have the devotion as well, is called Circle Maker, and it is one of my favorite books. Also, The Prayer of Jabez is another, it's a small book, and I actually was praying it when God called me to go on a missions trip to Trinidad like years ago, right after college. And so I want you guys to just really think about what you want God to do in your business and ask Him for it. Don't be afraid to boldly ask for what you want, and then be prepared, because God may say, okay, I'm going to give you this if it aligns with His will. So I just want you guys to, no homework, leave a comment on something you're excited about growing a team or building a team, or maybe something that you've learned through this process. And then if you're needing a little extra something, you can go on and get those books on Kindle or order them from Amazon for relatively cheap. But I thought I would just share those with you because it's something that is powerful in my life. But I want you guys to boldly ask for things for your business. God is probably waiting for you to ask. Don't be afraid. And when, ask for people to be brought into your life to share this amazing opportunity with. You just never, ever know what impact you're going to have on others. So have a wonderful Sunday evening, and I will talk to y'all later.